Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Just a reminder to please silence all cell phones. Also, feel free to take pictures during the ceremony, but make sure you are maintaining the 6 feet social distancing requirement. Spring 2020 commissioning ceremony. We would like to give a warm welcome to our commissionees, family, friends, faculty, staff, and distinguished guests that are joining us either here at Cadet Hall or virtually via Zoom. I would like to give a special recognition to Brigadier General Retired Nikki Griffin Olive, who is here today as our guest speaker. She is a distinguished military graduate from the EWU ROTC class of 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem and remain standing during the firing of the cadet cannonade. We ask that military personnel in uniform maintain your position of attention until the completion of the cadet cannonade.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The United States Army ROTC Cadet Cannonade salutes the 3 pillars of service to our nation.
Duty! Obedience and disciplined performance despite difficulty or danger. Duty requires self-responsibility and selfless devotion. Honor! Encompassing integrity and dedication, honor is the thread which holds together the fabric of our Army. Country! For which men and women have given their lives, our country shines as a light of freedom and dignity to the world.
Present arms.
Training and Doctrine Command salutes the graduating class of 2020.
Order arms.
Please be seated. At this time, we will play a congratulatory video from the Secretary of the Army, the Honorable Ryan D. McCarthy, the Chief of Staff of the Army, General James C. McConville, the Commanding General of Training and Doctrine Command, General Paul C. Funk, and the Commanding General of U.S. Army Cadet Command, Major General John Evans.
Congratulations on your upcoming graduation and commissioning. This is a huge milestone in your lives and also the beginning of you joining our ranks. Welcome. And we need each of you ready to lead the world's finest and most lethal force. I regret that I'm not able to give you this message in person and that this year commencement and commissioning will be different. But celebrating your achievement differently shouldn't diminish what you've accomplished here, nor tarnish the pride you should feel. What I would offer to you is a single touch point you can always return to, no matter where you may find yourself in life. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. With that said, the circumstances that you find yourself in now won't last forever. To build this resilience, train, Train hard and train often. Train your body to operate under duress, your mind to remain calm in chaos, and your heart to endure hardship. In a short time, you will have the privilege of leading our nation's men and women, and they will look to you as a steady hand at the helm. Serve them well. I am incredibly proud of you. Congratulations on graduation and commissioning, and I will see you out in the field.
Congratulations, and thank you for making the decision to join the best team in the world and be part of something bigger than yourself. I want to thank your parents for raising such fine young men and women who have answered the nation's call to service. If you don't remember anything else I said today, I want you to remember two things: people first and winning matters. People first is a philosophy. I believe you take care of your people, your soldiers, your families, and your civilians, and you create a command climate where everyone takes care of each other and treats everyone with dignity and respect, you will have a great cohesive team which will win on any battlefield. And winning matters in the Army is an attitude. When we send the Army somewhere, we don't go to try hard, we don't go to participate, we go to win. That's what the American people expect, and that's what you will do. And that's why winning matters. We are very proud of you. Stay healthy, stay safe, people first, winning matters, and we remain Army strong.
My name is Funk, and I'm an American soldier, commissioned as an armor officer through Montana State University ROTC in 1982. Go Bobcats! I'm honored to be the 17th Commanding General of the United States Army's Training and Doctrine Command, and the pursuit of victory starts here. What a great day to be a soldier. These young men and women in the audience today are the latest products of a century-old tradition of service to the nation. Let me join the chorus of voices offering congratulations to you and your loved ones. Addressing such a talented group of future leaders is true privilege. Thank you for taking your place in the long and distinguished line of graduates that have answered the call to serve. Welcome to the profession of arms, the most exclusive fraternity or sorority in the world. I always ask two questions of the soldiers and civilians that I meet. Why did you join, and why do you continue to serve? The U.S. Army is the greatest team ever assembled. Teamwork is why I joined the Army. This is America's Army. We all learn and grow together, and we are soldiers for life. I continue to serve because of the people. The Army is a people business, and the Army is not just about people, it is people. One of the fundamentals I have learned in over 40 years of service is this: high standards, positive outlook, and excellence are contagious. Whatever comes your way, remain calm in the storm and never waver. You're a leader now. Your soldiers are watching. It is your leadership that will help us accomplish our mission in the face of COVID-19 or any future adversary. I have no doubt that you will lead our nation through the challenges of the 21st century. You should feel privileged to wear the cloth of our great nation, the jersey of America's fighting team. Leave that jersey in a better place every day. Good luck to you all in your future endeavors. Godspeed, and may God bless these young leaders in our great nation. As I said when I started, my name is Funk, and I'm an American soldier. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hello, and let me be among the first to congratulate you on this incredible day. I'm certain that this day is much different than the way you envisioned it, and I apologize that you can't be in a large audience among your friends and additional family members, but it makes it no less important. And I want to make sure that you understand that what you have undertaken what you have achieved is going to be important for our nation. You are going to swear an oath to the Constitution and the people that stand behind that to do your duty, to protect our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, we face an unseen enemy. That's why we are conducting your commissioning ceremony in this way. But I know that you're up to the task. I know that you will take the training we've given you and that you will perform your duties thoughtfully and faithfully. I have faith and confidence in you, as do all of our senior Army leaders. And on this day, I want to congratulate you for doing what only 1 out of every 1,000 people in our country ever does, standing up and taking the oath of office to become an officer in the United States military. Congratulations, United States Army, Second Lieutenant.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford, who will give opening remarks.
Brigadier General Griffin Olive, distinguished guests, family and friends of the Fighting Eagles Battalion. Good morning, and I thank you for joining us today for our Spring 2020 commissioning ceremony. In the 68 years of EWU Army ROTC's existence, this is the first time it's had to conduct a blended virtual and in-person commissioning ceremony. I want to thank EWU's Provost, Dr. David May, for approving us to do small in-person ceremonies to give our soon-to-be second lieutenants the opportunity to commission in person in front of their closest family members and friends. I want to thank all of our cadre members that have put a lot of work in to make this ceremony possible today as well. I also want to thank our commissioning cadets for all the flexibility they have shown as we have navigated through this very challenging spring quarter. Finally, I want to thank our guest speaker, Brigadier General Griffin Olive, for traveling all the way here from Georgia to be here today to share her inspiring words of wisdom with our commissioning cadets. For over 100 years after our nation's founding, the Army relied on the U.S. Military Academy to primarily provide new officers for its ranks. Due to World War I and the high demand for more officers, Congress in 1916 founded the Reserve Officers Training Corps. Since its founding in 1916, ROTC has expanded to create programs in 274 college campuses across the nation that is responsible for commissioning 60% of the officers into the U.S. Army. Today, we'll be commissioning part of that 60% that represents approximately 5,000 new officers into the Army from ROTC this year. Besides joining a long line of outstanding graduates from Eastern's ROTC program, such as our guest speaker today, General Olive, the soon-to-be second lieutenants have also made themselves a part of EWU Army ROTC history. This year's commissioning class I like to call my 20 for 20 class. Since in academic year 2020, we are commissioning 20 lieutenants into the United States Army. This makes my 20 for 20 class the largest commissioning class in over 20 years from Eastern. This year, EWU is commissioning more officers into the Army than some much larger Pac-12 and SEC schools. Besides being a large commissioning class, this is also a very distinguished class, which has achieved various collective accomplishments during their time in ROTC. For example, at ROTC Advanced Camp at Fort Knox, Kentucky, which is the premier training event for Cadet Command, 68% of these commissionees scored either an outstanding or excellent rating, which are the two highest ratings at Advanced Camp. The Cadet Command average was 48%. This group further exceeded Cadet Command branching averages. Branching is a highly competitive process since these are career positions that cadets across the country are competing for. The Cadet Command average for receiving a first branch choice was 60%. The average for this group was 75%. This group also has 3 distinguished military graduates. Only 20% of cadets across the country receive such an honor, and 3 of them have come from Eastern this year. Cadets from this group are also very active on campus, executing cannon crew duties during the home football games, participating in volunteer activities, such as our annual blood drive, assisting with color guard, and being part of the Ranger Challenge team. The 2020 class is clearly an outstanding group that represents the best EWU has to offer, that I am personally very proud to commission into the U.S. Army today. Thank you.
Our guest speaker today is Brigadier General Nikki Griffin Olive. General Griffin Olive graduated from Eastern Washington University in 1990 as a distinguished military graduate. She commissioned as a second lieutenant into the Signal Corps. In her initial assignment to Vicenza, Italy, she served as a signal platoon leader and company executive officer in the 559th Field Artillery Group. Following graduation from the Signal Officers Advanced Course, she was assigned as the Communications Electronics Officer in the 1-5 Air Defense Artillery Battalion and as the Headquarters Battery Commander for the 1-3 Air Defense Artillery Battalion, 3rd Infantry Division, Fort Stewart, Georgia. In recent years, Brigadier General Griffin Olive relinquished command of the 359th Theater Tactical Signal Brigade in September 2016 and was next assigned as the Deputy Commanding General, Sustainment for the 335th Signal Command. In 2018, she was assigned as Commanding General, Troop Program Unit, 335th Signal Command Theater, Operational Command Post, Forward, Kuwait. Brigadier General Griffin Olive retired from the U.S. Army in November 2019. Brigadier General Griffin Olive is married to Colonel Jeffrey Olive, and they have 2 daughters, Darby Isabel Olive and Kendall Grace Olive. We are also very honored to induct Brigadier General Griffin Olive as the 8th member of the EWU Military Science Hall of Fame. A framed plaque is hung at Cadet Hall honoring the career of Brigadier General Griffin Olive. We will now be honored to hear from Brigadier General Griffin Olive.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. Can you see me? There we go. I'm in the middle. I'm a little bit nervous. I just wanted to start out by saying I love the setup, and I'm glad that you all are getting to do something virtually or in person today. It'll be really the start of the next chapter for you. As always, when I hear our national anthem, I am moved to chills, sometimes to not tears, but close. But it always brings me close to why I wore the cloth of our nation, right? So I'm just going to say a few words today. I've got a little script. I'm going to stick to that, so I make sure I hit the high points. So good morning, Lieutenant Colonel Stafford. Thank you for inviting me back home here to Eastern. Thank you for the amazing tour of our Eastern Eagle ROTC building yesterday. It's clear that you, your team, and our Corps of Cadets are committed to holding the program in the highest regard, and it shows. You should be very proud. Welcome, friends, families, dignitaries, special guests, all those who are set up there virtually or tuning in virtually that are going to be in here in person for the rest of the day. Really appreciate your commitment to this special day. And I want to start out by saying how very honored I am to be here today. What a privilege it is for me to share this very special day with you and your families, albeit the current situation, and how very honored I am to be inducted into the mighty Eastern Eagle ROTC Hall of Fame. I never dreamed of a day like this. 30 years later, I am here at my alma mater, and I'm so very excited for each and every one of you and your families about the next chapter and what you're about to begin. I can clearly recall how I felt on commissioning day, sitting on stage with all my ROTC classmates. I was excited, I was scared, I was making a list in my head of the immediate steps I needed to take to get through the ceremony, feeling the weight of that silver dollar in my pocket, excited about walking out the door, presenting that coin to one of our extraordinary ROTC non-commissioned officers after my first salute as a second lieutenant. Then the list to pack up and move out to the Signal Officer Basic Course, wondering where the Army would send me next. I won't take up a lot of your time this morning. I know that you all have a long day ahead to get through the virtual and personal commissioning ceremonies, but I thought I'd take a few minutes to acknowledge the hard work and dedication that you, your families, have committed throughout the journey to this day. To thank you for raising your hand for the awesome privilege of serving our nation and the people of the United States. A privilege for less than 1% of our population chooses or even qualifies for. And possibly impart some words of wisdom from my experiences of my almost 30 years of service. First of all, every day of my Army career, I felt blessed, privileged, and honored to serve the nation and stand alongside of, train, and fight with some of America's finest warriors, rock stars, and heroes. I've called them my entire career. Officers, warrant officers, non-commissioned officers, soldiers, civilians, and all their amazing families. Now that I'm retired, there isn't a day that I don't wake up and miss the camaraderie, the teamwork, my teammates, the people, the challenges, and the immense bond that I had with those with whom I served alongside of. When you think about the Army, you may think of what it takes to win on the battlefield as a land force. You may think of the tanks, the planes, the artillery pieces, the awesome Army vehicles and equipment, the satellites, of course, the fiber optic network, bringing my signal career into it. But the Army is really all about the people. It's about truly knowing them, where they're from, why they chose to serve, what motivates them, their strengths, their weaknesses, and understanding how to train and challenge them to build a strong, unbeatable team and create irreversible positive momentum, inspire and mentor them. My first challenge to you is to know your people. Sit down with each of them and make a 3x5 card about their family, their military and civilian education, their experiences, their expertise, their perceived strengths and weaknesses, their hobbies, and why they chose to serve. Ask them questions. What you will come to know is how they will fit on your team, the roles that they will fill, and what you and your senior non-commissioned officer need to do to understand what measures you must take to prepare them to fight and win on the battlefield as a team. Empower your warriors, trust them, and hold them in the highest regard. The second piece of wisdom that I want to impart is that you must always lead from the front. Never expect your soldiers to do anything that you aren't willing to do yourself. Lead by example. Uphold and exemplify the Army values and live the warrior ethos, even when nobody's looking. Understand that you must always be a standard bearer. You're probably thinking, so far, this is not rocket science, right? And it's not. But it is fundamental to building a strong, cohesive, and trusting team. Number 3, work hard. Set your expectations high for yourself and your team. Always remember, America's mothers and fathers are counting on you to protect their sons and daughters, train them, and bring them home safely. You may fail, and we all have and do at some point in our lives. The important thing to understand is to learn a lesson from it, work hard, and move on. I can honestly tell you that I was never the smartest person on my team, never the one with all the amazing ideas, just an average, everyday American girl. But what I can tell you is I always tried my hardest, always worked as hard as I could, always strove to run a little faster, do a little more. I never, ever expected that I would have the honor and privilege to serve at this level. And can honestly say that my largest contribution was hard work. And I attribute all the rest of it to the extraordinary warriors, rock stars, and heroes that I had the privilege to serve with over the years, who raised me up on their shoulders. They held me high, they trained me, they mentored me, and they took care of me. Finally, trust your NCOs. Empower them, support them, understand that every Army in the world is envious of our non-commissioned officer corps. There is not another Army in the world who compares. They are the foundation of our professional Army. I'm going to wrap this up with one of my favorite quotes, one that I've used throughout my Army career by Theodore Roosevelt. Far and away, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. There is no doubt that today is the first step in your next chapter at working hard at work worth doing. I'm so proud of each and every one of you and your families on this very special day. So very honored and privileged to share these moments with you. I wish each and every one of you good luck, good health, and Godspeed. So very proud to be an Eastern Eagle and be here today and to come out of a program that is so revered, and so proud to be an American soldier. Once again, thank you.
We will now move into the virtual commissioning portion of today's ceremony. Our first 5 cadets today will virtually take the oath of office, followed by the pinning of their second lieutenant bars and first salute. Our first cadet to commission today is Erling Anderson. Cadet Anderson is one of our distinguished military graduates who ranked in the top 20% of cadets nationwide. He is a design technology, construction management, and manufacturing technology major that will become an officer in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The oath of office will be administered by Peter Richard Henning, First Lieutenant, United States Army, retired.
Erling John Anderson, having been appointed an officer, having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States and the Army of the United States, and second lieutenant in the grade of second lieutenant, and solemnly swear that I will support and defend, that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the United States, that I will bear full faith. I will bear full faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office. The duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. Upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. So help me God.
Second Lieutenant Erling Anderson will be pinned by his parents, Steve and Lisa Anderson. Jason Hennig, First Sergeant, U.S. Army, and former EWU Army ROTC Senior Military Science Instructor, renders the first salute. Congratulations, Second Lieutenant Anderson. Our next cadet to commission today is Ian House. He is a history major who will become a field artillery officer. The oath of office will be administered by Brent Allen House, Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy.
I, Ian Burnett House, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
I will support the Constitution of the United States
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
That I will and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
Second Lieutenant Ian House will be pinned by his wife, Dylan House. Sam Salvadolina, Specialist, United States Army and high school friend, renders the first salute.
I'm honored to be your first salute.
Congratulations, Second Lieutenant House. Our next cadet to commission today is Austin Pfennig. He is a communications major who will become a Signal Corps officer. The oath of office will be administered by his wife, Melissa Pfennig, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and fellow Signal Corps officer.
Right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Austin Charles Pfennig,
Do solemnly swear. Yes.
United States.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith.
And I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the same.
And allegiance to the same.
I take this obligation freely.
And obligation.
Without any reservation.
Without purpose.
That I will well
And I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
of the office
of which I am about to enter.
of which
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, couldn't do it in person, but here's your coin.
Awesome. I'll get it.
Congratulations, Second Lieutenant Pfennig. Our next cadet to commission today is Cheyenne Sweet. She is a criminal justice major who will become a field artillery officer. The oath of office will be administered by Haley Isaacson, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and 2019 EWU ROTC graduate. Second Lieutenant Cheyenne Sweet will be pinned by her parents, Joseph and Yee Sweet. Roland Sidney, Sergeant First Class, United States Army, and Second Lieutenant Sweet's former junior ROTC instructor, renders the first salute. Congratulations, Second Lieutenant Sweet. Our final virtual commissioning today is Cadet Chad Triplett. Cadet Triplett is commissioning today as a distinguished military graduate that ranked in the top 10% of cadets nationwide. He is also the recipient of the Distinguished Admiral George Lotzenheiser Sabre Leadership Award for superior qualities of loyalty, patriotism, and dependability, as well as for his distinguished academic and ROTC standing, character, and leadership. Cadet Triplett is a criminal justice major who will become an infantry officer. The oath of office will also be administered by Kyle Isaacson, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, who is a 2019 EWU ROTC graduate.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your first name. State your full name.
I, Chad Triplett,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
that I'll support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith
that I'll bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same,
That I will take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of the office
on which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God.
Second Lieutenant Chad Triplett will be pinned by his parent, Rachel and Chad Triplett, and his girlfriend, Annie Noyes.
Woohoo.
You have to say something.
You're good? Yep. All right. Okay.
Lynn Triplett, Petty Officer, Second Class, U.S. Navy, renders the first salute.
It's an honor to be your first salute.
Thanks, sis.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Second Lieutenant Triplett. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the virtual commissioning portion of today's ceremony. We will begin the individual in-person commissionings at 10:30 a.m. Thank you. Second Lieutenant Jazmin Castrejon will be pinned by her sister, Cindy Rodriguez, and her brother-in-law, Antonio Rodriguez. Serena Castrejon, Private, United States Army, and Second Lieutenant Castrejon's sister rendered the first salute via Zoom from South Korea.
Ma'am, it's a pleasure to be your first salute.
Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Castrejon. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at 1100. Second Lieutenant Megan Anderson will be pinned by her mother, Nicole Anderson, and father, Ronnie Bird. Robert Smith, former seaman, United States Navy, and Second Lieutenant Anderson's grandfather, renders the first salute. Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Anderson. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at 11:30. Second Lieutenant Samuel Cutts will be pinned by his parents, David and Nancy Cutts. Edwin Cutts, retired second-class petty officer, United States Navy, and Second Lieutenant Cutts' grandfather, renders the first salute. Congratulations. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at 1300. Our next individual in-person commission today is Cadet Cesar Guzman. He will graduate with a degree in biology and become an officer in the Signal Corps. The oath of office will be administered by the EWU Army ROTC Assistant Professor of Military Science, Major Nicholas Carbaugh.
Raise your right hand.
Oh, here we go.
I state your name. I, Cesar Guzman, having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States, having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties. Of the office which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
We're gonna give him the-
Second Lieutenant Cesar Guzman will be pinned by his mother, Leah Van Sant.
Woo!
Cesar Ferdinand Guzman, Sergeant First Class, United States Army, retired, and Second Lieutenant Guzman's father renders the first salute. Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Guzman. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at 1400.
He's got to do National Guard.
I, Jacob Villasenor, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely. Without mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. Or well and faithfully.
That's the American chair and is watching.
Discharge the duties of the office I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
Second Lieutenant Jacob Villasenor will be pinned by his father, Ricardo Villasenor. Raul Villasenor, Sergeant, United States Army, and Second Lieutenant Villasenor's uncle renders the first salute.
It is my honor to render your first salute.
Our next individual in-person commission today is Cadet Joseph Jordan. He is graduating with a degree in criminal justice and will become an officer in the Chemical Corps. The oath of office will be administered by Jose Alfaro, Major, United States Army, via Zoom.
Cadet Jordan, repeat after me. I state your name. I can't hear. Having been appointed an officer, is he hearing me?
Yes, sir. He is hearing you.
In the Army of the United States.
He.
In the grade of second lieutenant. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all threats, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
Second Lieutenant Joseph Jordan will be pinned by his mother, Karen Summers, and his girlfriend, Avery Boyd. Stephen Jordan, retired specialist, United States Army, and Second Lieutenant Jordan's father renders the first salute. Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Jordan. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at 15:10. Will become an officer in the Army Nurse Corps. The oath of office will be administered by Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford, the EWU Army ROTC Professor of Military Science. Second Lieutenant Sarah Mullen will be pinned by her mother, Catherine Mullen, and her sibling, Georgie Mullen. Master Sergeant Michael Zering, the EWU Army ROTC Senior Military Science Instructor, renders the first salute. Congratulations, Second Lieutenant Mullen. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at Our next individual in-person commission today is Cadet Coy Odiorne. He is graduating with a degree in history and will become an Air Defense Artillery Officer. The oath of office will be administered by the EWU Army ROTC Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford. Second Lieutenant Coy Odiorne will be pinned by his parents, Juanita and Robert Odiorne. EWU Army ROTC Senior Military Science Instructor Master Sergeant Michael Zering renders the first salute. Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Odiorne. Our next individual in-person commission today is Cadet Marcos Sanchez. Cadet Sanchez was the recipient of our 2020 Superior MS4 Cadet Award. He is graduating with a degree in mechanical engineering and will become an officer in the Army Corps of Engineers. The oath of office will be administered by the EWU Army ROTC Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford. Second Lieutenant Marcos Sanchez will be pinned by his wife, Courtney Sanchez, and his parents, Raul Sanchez and Heidi Mitchell Sanchez. David Weaver, Sergeant First Class, United States Army, renders the first salute. Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Sanchez. Our next individual in-person commissioning will begin at 16:30. Our final individual in-person commission today is Cadet Robert Wheeler. He is graduating with a degree in mechanical engineering and will become an armor officer. The oath of office will be administered by the EWU Army ROTC Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford.
I state your full name. I, Robert Wheeler. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. Support the defend. Also support the defend. Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. Faith. And all their true faith. And allegiance to the same. And I take this obligation freely. And I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Without any mental reservation. For purpose of faith. For purpose of faith. I will well and faithfully. I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Discharge the duties. Of the office about to enter. Of the office about to enter. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations.
Second Lieutenant Robert Wheeler will be pinned by Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford. Second Lieutenant Robert Wheeler will receive his first salute from EWU Army ROTC Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Michael Zering. Congratulations to Second Lieutenant Wheeler. This concludes today's 2020 EWU Army ROTC commissioning ceremony. Congratulations to all of our new lieutenants, and thank you to everyone for attending today's ceremony.